guys, it's Tony with Backwoods Biker Magazine and Wood Tramp Outdoors. Got another battle box for you right here. Mission number 103. So hang tight. Alright guys, welcome back. One of the questions that I wanted to address right away is that some of the magazine subscribers and some of you here from YouTube have asked why we wait until the middle of the month to drop our Battlbox review. It was a strategic decision we made probably a year ago based upon the fact that whenever Battlbox begins to mail out their boxes, we start to get emails right away commenting on the gear that's inside the box. And there's a lot of questions that they ask us, and we want to be able to address those questions, or it might be a criticism that we want to address. And this box does have one in it. The second reason this one is so late getting out, because one of the items in here, we allowed a couple of our guys to take it out, and they had a little bit longer than what we wanted, a couple of weeks as a matter of fact. Just now got it back, so here we are. So I want to get off into this battle box right away. And I think you'll find, like we did, that this is a superb box. So let's get off in it right away, talk about the basic box. You're into this for $34.99. And the first item in this box is actually a knife, and that's a question that we get to. Is there ever a knife in the basic box? Yes. We found knives in the basic, the advanced, and the pro. And of course the Pro Plus is the knife of the month. But yeah, every box that we've seen, or tier, not every single month, but every box that we have seen on every tier has had a knife in it. This happens to be the basic box, and this is really a superb little knife here. It's called the Fox Edge FE044, and just a medium, light to medium duty knife, but it is really good. It's a head turner, and everybody on our crew that handled it gave it a thumbs up. This comes in an overall length of 8 inches. It is a boutique steel. It's 8CR 13 MOV. It's a stainless steel, so it's not going to rust on you, and it keeps a pretty good edge. It's not really hard to sharpen either. It's a frame lock guy with a double thumb stud on it for ambidextrous deployment. It's got a clip on it for your pocket. It's a tip up, and you can't change this, I don't think. No, you cannot change this. So it's going to stay the way it is, but I mean, it's just really smooth to get open, very, very sharp out of the box. And I can tell you that, as I said, if you use it for what it's designed for, you'll be all right. You're not going to baton all day long with this, but it's great for skinning game, processing small game. You're not going to cut through bone on a deer, obviously, or any type of joints on this thing, unless you really got like a lifetime to do it. But basically, it will do the job for smaller stuff. Process stuff at the campfire. You feather stick, build your fire lay with this, process your bird's nest, things like that. Cut cordage. It's good for that. But what my guys all told me, all said the same thing. It's like a utility knife, EDC, that you carry around to work, around your property, on the farm, or at your shop. You see where I'm at today. I'm in the shop here at my home. And this is something that I would carry in my pocket. So this is a great ad. Again, you're into this box for $34.99. Keep that in mind as we move along. Second item is from Atwood, and it is called the Ready Rope Micro. And what it is, it's based upon the little card platform that you see a lot of companies doing now, especially the small little survival gear companies. They got these cards where you can actually store your cordage, and this happens to have a very light cordage in it. This is not something that's really heavy. It's not designed for heavy work. Could you use it for a ridgeline? Yeah, you can, but you can't really get real rugged with it. I wouldn't trust it in a really heavy windy downpour or anything like that. Another thing you can do is use it for a bank line, although it's not coated in any way. It's not like tarred bank line, but it would do the job. If you're out in a survival situation and you want to build yourself a passive trigger, L7 trigger to fish with while you're off doing something else, this would be good for that. couple features that I did want to point out. Not only is it great for storing your cord, but it's got its own little blade in it, and it's sharp. Check this out. Just like that, man. I like that. And then once you cut it to the length you want, it's got a keeper system here that keeps this from unraveling and getting out all over the place. Oftentimes we get emails from different Boy Scouts saying, hey, is there anything in a Battlbox that I might be able to use? This would be great for a Boy Scout. And after you have depleted all this cord, put on the size that you want. The keeper is not going to hold a larger size. You'd be really having to jam down some 550 paracord on it, but it could work. But again, this is a great little ad that we liked. Then the third and the fourth item come from the same company. It's from Clean Freak. We've seen Clean Freak stuff a lot at different gatherings and seminars, and we reviewed some a few months back, I believe in a Battlbox, and we liked them then and we like them now. And this happened to be the item that we heard a couple criticisms from, because of the fact that the people that wrote us said it doesn't belong in a Battlbox that's designed for survival and woodsy types of applications. We all disagree with you. These are great for woodsy applications. If you're out in the woods, you need to be able to clean yourself up. It's got two different sizes here. First one is the 20 pack assorted. It's got some scents on it. I don't really care for the scented things, but it's okay. But what these are great for, let me tell you, if you are in, you're out for the day, you've got a haversack like this right here, something like this. You're going to be out for the day, you put a couple of these in there, even just one. And let me see what this one here is. Cascade Pine. They had one in there, something grapefruit. I didn't really care for the grapefruit, to be honest with you. But here's all you do is you open these up, and then the smaller ones, you really got to be careful not wanting to rip them apart, okay? And they are impregnated with a solution that, oh yeah, that does smell like pine. It smells like grandma's pine salt. If you remember that, people that are my age remember pine salt. And I mean, if you got blood on your hands, sinew on your hands, you've been working out with fish, and you want to clean your hands of the fish melt, this stuff is really good for that. If you're out hunting, obviously you don't want anything that's scented on you, but leave these at your base camp or something like that. But also, I really recommend these to go in your e-bag all throughout the year. If you happen to have an emergency situation in your vehicle and you're going to be down for a while, these are great to have in your vehicle, in your bag. If you get out and have to mess with your vehicle, your hands are greasy or whatever, these will clean you up right away, okay? Now, I will mention something else here before I even show you the other ones. That once you get done and you got all cleaned up, don't wad these up and throw them in the fire. What you want to do is you want to lay them out over a ridge line or lay them up on a tree branch and let them completely dry. Now you have got several pieces of tinder that you can use. Just tear these things apart, and once they're dry, they actually, the fibers in them open up quite a bit that you can use them inside of a bird's nest. So that's a great ad for us. And then the other product that came in this box is body wipes. And by the way, they call these the flusher. If you got to flush them down a toilet, it won't kill your septic or the city sewer. I'm not going to be using these at home. I might put them in a storm bag or something like that, just in case that, like I told you before, we got tornadoes that roll through our area, and I do have gear set up, and this would be a great ad to put inside of something like that. So the other thing that they have is called the Clean Freak Body Wipe. Now, I'm not going to open this up, but it is big enough to be able to wash your entire body. They're 11 inch by 11 inch, so they're a lot bigger than the one you just saw. These two have different scents to them. I see one that says cocoa nut, another one that says tea tree. I don't know what they smell like, but they come in, they've got witch hazel, chamomile, They contain aloe, they're alcohol free, they're biodegradable, they're not bad for the environment, and they're definitely not bad for you, especially when your body is funky. You may not care about your funk, but other people around you do, you know. And I've made jokes before when people ask me how often do I bathe when I'm out in the bush. My answer always is when I have to. That's just me. I'd rather go out there and hunt and fish and do whatever I got to do without having to worry about to get off in the stream or get off in a lake. I do it, but with something like this, you can bypass that at least for a little bit, and they will do you really, really well. It's like a shower on the go, right? It says it's safe for all parts, even the back door and the front door, right? I could tell you a funny story that I discovered one time, not too long ago. I grabbed the wrong wipe, and it was a disinfecting wipe for surfaces and not for private parts. Yeah, it was exciting. All right, that's your basic box. Again, you're in that for $34.99. The next tier is the advanced box for $64.99, and this is an item that, you know, turned a couple heads because we live in a day and age right now that you're always hearing about EMP strikes, you know, especially in the survival and preppers community. Truth of the matter is, if an EMP strike happens, it just shuts down everything that has any type of electronic relationship, anything. And that includes the brains in your truck, your comms devices, your telephones, your GPSs, your personal locator beacons, and all that. You can protect them. You know, I'm kind of on the fence with this, but I'll tell you my exact feelings about this. If there's an EMP strike, every cell phone tower in the world is going to be, well, in the area where you're at, it's going to be down, and you're not going to be able to use that. If you have not had your comms inside of a bag like this, it's going to do the same thing. It's going to be down. This comes from SLNT. It's called the XL Utility Faraday Bag for multiple devices. You know, it's not real big, but it's not real tiny like I have seen others. But it has a Velcro closure on it that you actually roll down, and then when you open this up, right? Okay. You can see how big this is on the inside. And I just was showing it to another guy the other day, and I'm showing him what I can put in. I've got a little bow fang that I put off inside of here to be able to demonstrate to him that yes, it can carry multiple devices. Now, if you've got it down in there and there's something happens, then more than likely you're going to be safe from that. Again, a nuclear-inspired EMP strike from another nation, it's going to mess us up all over the place. Hopefully you got your bow fang in a Faraday bag or a Faraday box or a Faraday room. They're not hard to build, any of them. But even more serious is the threat. Hold on here. All right. Even more serious in this day and age than an unlikely EMP strike. Doubt that that's going to happen, but it could. That's one of the things on the Department of Homeland Security's top serious threats. But what a lot of folks don't realize is that EMP devices are now available on the market, especially the black market. And they are small handheld devices about the size of a small cigar box. I don't have any of them around here, or I'd show you, but most of them are very, very small, 6 inches wide by about 4 inches high, 4 inches wide, and they are designed to wipe out electronics within a specified area, within maybe about a 30-yard area, so it's not real big. But where it could hurt you at is that people can come in and disable your phone. Is that likely? Probably not. But what is likely is that if you're walking anywhere in the world right now, there are devices that are available to the public that can help you to steal the information off of a cell phone, which includes not only every number, but also every bit of your personal information. So, to me, this would be great to use when you travel, whether you're traveling 100, 200 miles away or you're traveling around the world. If you will put your cell phone in here, or anything else that's electronic that may be compromised by someone snooping and pooping for your information, it won't affect it inside of this bag. It's impermeable to it, or impervious to it. So to us, this was another neat little ad. And again, this isn't something that I'm going to take out in the woods with me, because I'm not afraid of somebody stealing my information out there. But when I travel, whether it's, up to Chicago, I'm in central Illinois, if I travel to Chicago, this would be a great bag to have with me in my vehicle or in my hotel room, wherever I might be. It's going to protect me all the day long. So again, Battlbox, that's a thumbs up for that one right there. Again, you're into that box for $64.99. You get everything that's in the basic box as well. So this takes us off to the Pro Box. And the Pro Box, this is the item that I had to wait on because a couple guys took these out to do a deer scout. These are the Gladiator binoculars from Barska. Barska has been around since the mid-90s. I started seeing their optics probably about 1998, somewhere around there. And what I have found is that they've got some pretty good quality stuff for some down and dirty prices. And what I'm getting ready to show you right now, this set of binoculars, fits that bill 100%. This is the Barska Gladiator 1030 by 60 millimeter zoom binoculars. Now these are on the larger side, which automatically right out of the box it tells me, oh, these are not going to fit off in a haversack very well. Here's the reason why you don't want people to borrow your stuff that's irresponsible. They brought me back one front load eye cup. They lost the other one. I'll have to get out to Barska and ask them about that. But it comes in a handy little nylon bag. It's got protective cups on all four lenses. They're a little bit big. Now, for me, as soon as I saw these, I thought deer scout, elk scout, bear scout, anywhere. Or if you're out bird watching, if you're a bird lover, anything like that, these are great for. They got front-loaded coated lenses, keeps the glare down. It's got a mid-level magnification, or excuse me, a focus lens on it right here. A focus wheel is what it's called. And then there is a thumb magnifier. So when you're looking out and you get your subject pretty clear, then you take this thumb and you can zoom it in really, really far, right? Of course, like good optics, your right eyepiece is going to have a focus also for your particular eyes. This one here has got the cups on it for eyeglasses too. It's got a place to put the lanyard that comes with it. And this also has the option to be able to use a tripod with these. And when you're talking about looking out 200-300 yards away, everything bounces because you're not that steady. Even if you're down on your elbows, you got them locked in and you're trying to see, you're still going to shake a little bit. But with a tripod, it's not going to shake anywhere. Again, to me, these are great for taking out on a hunt. For a scout, I'll be doing that in a couple days. I'm going out this weekend for deer scout, and hopefully I'll be able to see me some four-legged critters and be able to watch them and see what their habits are where I happen to be going, and I plan on hunting in the future here. So this is a great ad. Now this box, the Pro Box, is $119.99. You get everything in the advanced box and the basic box. So you're loading up on gear this particular month with Battlbox. All right, so that takes us to the Pro Plus box, and the Pro Plus box has an item from Ruck and River. And for all those of you who have been asking me about Ruck and River, I don't have an answer for you. I don't know if Battlbox actually owns Ruck and River. I suspect they do, but I haven't asked my contact that, but it is on my list. I have got an interview set up with a couple Battlbox staff members, and I'll be talking to the CEO as well, and I'll make sure that I ask that, and I'll have that answer for you in the next couple of weeks. But this blade happens to be one of the blades that every one of us here have said that's probably one of the top blades, if not the nicest blade that we've seen Battlbox offer this year. That's saying a lot because we've seen some pretty good knives. The Ruck and River, the Ruck and River Ogeechee. The Ogeechee is a river that runs through Georgia. Battlbox is in Georgia. And when you look at this knife, as soon as you unsheath this dude, you can tell that this thing is the real deal. It feels great in the hand. It's rugged. It can take a beating. It's very sharp out of the box. The features on it are superb. Now, before I start reading anything from you, let me talk to you about some of these features. First of all, you're looking at the tip. This is a very formidable tip on this knife that you could do drilling without worrying about chipping this or breaking it or shearing it off. It is really rugged. On the back spine, it has a profile that is made specifically for using a ferro rod. It's very sharp. It's going to throw sparks without a problem. The micarta scales are nice and smooth. What I will do before I take this knife out is I will go ahead and put some Woodtramp Gears bush butter on here and then heat it up with my hand. It'll impregnate that, and when it dries, it'll become very, very not sticky, but it allows you to have a solid grip. Go on down the knife towards the pommel here. You have got a super duper size lanyard hole, and you know how I feel about lanyards. And then the full tang knife comes all the way down, and it has an exposed pommel. We just dropped a video on how to create displacement for your bird's nest by processing down the material that you might be using in your bird's nest to where it opens up like little fibers and creates a lot of displacement for oxygen in the fire triangle. Great knife. The sheath in it is a molded, let me see what it says here. Blah, 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 blah. It says it's an injection molded sheath with a clip designed to reduce bulk. And the clip is, it's a tight profile. It's not really big. It's not heavy. It's not one of my favorite sheaths. And I've told you many, many times, if you're buying a knife for a sheath, then you're really buying a knife for the wrong reason. If the sheath is what gets your attention, then you're really not serious about using a knife. Sheaths are secondary. To me, they're just a safe way to be able to ship the knives. And it'll do the job, but for a guy like me that's only 5'9", I weigh 210 pounds right now. I know, man, I have porked up. It's that butter pecan ice cream, man. You gotta stay away from it. You can't eat a quart of it at a time. But anyway, I'm 5'9", which means that my waist is right here, and that puts that knife right under my chest. It means I got to lift way up here to be able to get this knife. I've been a dangler guy ever since I was a shorty, and I would like to see companies that build knives with molded sheaths and even Kydex sheaths build a dangler attachment. Make it an option if you have to as an accessory. But if you did that, that would be perfect. It's not that this knife won't work. With this sheath, it will. But I'm going to have me a sheath made for this knife that I like. So let's talk about the particulars of this knife. It is 10.6 inches overall. It's pretty stout with a 5.5 inch 440 AM stainless steel blade. It's finished off with coyote tan micarta scales with a pass-through for a lanyard. Yep. And Russ Comer designed this knife, and it's made here in the USA. Let me see here. It says a perfect tool for hunting, bushcraft, and everyday use in the outdoors. Agree with it 100%. I can't see that there's not anything that this knife can't do that a knife that costs you $600 to $1,500 might be able to do. Matter of fact, I'll be honest with you, I have those on the shelves that I won't even take out because I don't want to mess up a $1,500 or $2,000 knife when I can take out a knife like this that I'm in for $169.99 for, and I get all this other stuff behind it. I wouldn't be afraid to build shelters with this, traps, man traps, fire lays, you name it, you could do this. Stakes, you could build bushcraft furniture with it, anything that you want, you're going to be good using the Ogeechee. Okay? Matter of fact, I wanted to mention that Brandon Curran is the one that got this slid into the Battlbox this month. So good to go there, Curran 1776. Well, that's it for this Battlbox, and as far as I'm concerned, it's stellar. Some great gear in here. The binoculars are great. The Ogeechee is just top notch. It's a top shelf knife. You got that fox edge in that basic box. Really, really nice stuff. And the Faraday bag. It's a smart move. So until next time, you guys ride free, you live free, and as always, you be safe out there.